Hi friends, welcome to IISN YouTube channel. Now we are going to see the topics on what is constructor. In previous video we saw about what is class and object. Okay, so this is the continuations of that particular videos. Okay, so now you see we are going to see what is constructor. Okay, the constructor is going to be a block of code. Okay, so it is similar to method. Okay, so it is going to be called at the time of object creations. Okay, so during the time, okay, so memory for the particular object is going to be get allocated. Okay, so it is used to initialize the object. Okay, so you know how to create an object. Okay, so if you don't know that, okay, so the videos so I already delivered on this class and object, how to create an object. Okay, so that video links are given in the description link. Okay, so you can check it over there. Okay, so the object is used to when we are going to create an object. Okay, at the time the constructor is going to be get called. Okay, so if there is a no constructor is present in the program, okay, so in the classes, okay, so the compiler will provide the default constructor. Okay, and the rule is the constructor name and class name both are same. Okay, so and one more thing, the constructor doesn't return any values. Okay, so it where we are using, okay, the task which is performed by the constructor is, so it is used to object creations, it is used to call a start a thread, okay, or it is used to call a method. Okay, so it cannot be abstract or static or final and synchronized. Okay, so here you see we are having the different types of constructor. One is going to be a default constructor, another one is constructor with argument, another one is constructor overloading, another one is fourth one is copy constructor. Okay, so these are the four types of constructor. We are going to see it one by one. Okay, so first one is going to be a default constructor. Okay, so here you see we are the syntax for the constructor is class name open parenthesis close parenthesis. Okay, so we already saw that. Okay, so what is the rule? Okay, so constructor name and class name both are same. Okay, so here you see in the syntax we are having the class name open parenthesis close parenthesis. Inside this we are going to write a query or method statement or anything. Okay, so it is going to be called at the time of object creations. Now let us move into the implementation part of how to create a constructor. Okay, so here is we already created this two classes. Okay, so I am going to create one more classes. Okay, so basic of constructor, basic constructor, the class name is basic constructor. Okay, so here you see what is the syntax, what is the main rule. Okay, so constructor name and class name both are same. Okay, so here you see I am going to create an constructor. Okay, so class name open parenthesis close parenthesis. Okay, so this is what it is called as a constructor. Okay, so constructor. Okay, so it is going to be called at the time of object creation, right? Okay, so where we are going to create an object, we are going to create an object in main method. Okay, so public static void main. Okay, so inside this we are going to create a constructor. What is the syntax of creating an object? That is class name object name equal to new class name. Okay, right. Okay, so here you see we are going to write some statement inside it. Okay, sys out. Okay, so here you see I am a constructor. Okay, so this is a statement I am a constructor. Okay, so here you see it is going to be called internally. Okay, so when the object is going to be created, okay, at the time it is going to be called the constructor. Okay, so here you see in this main method basic object is created. Okay, and then we are having and it is going to check whether any constructor like this structures is present on here or not. Okay, so here you see the matching constructor is present over there. The constructor doesn't have any argument. Here also the class object class name doesn't have any arguments. Okay, so that it will be going to be get called. Okay, so here you see we are going to run this program and check it check the output of this particular program. Here you see it is get called, this statement is get called, and the statement which we written inside this constructor is I am a constructor. Okay, so this is the statement we written inside it. Okay, so this is the constructor, basic constructor. Okay, so here you see we are going to declare two more variables. One is register number, another one is name. Okay, So, here you see I am going to initialize the values through the constructor. Okay. So, I am just going to assign some values to it. Okay. So, here you see 10 666. Okay, name is Vinod Kumar. Silverson. Okay, right. Okay, so then we are having the printing statement void print data. Okay, so then we are going to write sys out. Okay, so register number is plus the variable name register number, right. Okay, so here you see then we are going to create a system.out.println statement. Inside this statement we are going to print the name is plus name. Okay, so right. Okay, so we created one constructor. In this constructor we initialize one variables and then we are going to print those values. Okay, so then we are having public static void main. Okay, so inside this statement, okay, so we have created one object which is named as a basics. Okay, so now you see we are going to call this method by using the object name. Okay, so here you see object name dot method name. Okay, so if you are having confusion on what is class and object, okay, so the video's link is given on the description link. Okay, so you can go through it. Okay, so how to create a class and object, everything. Okay, so here you see class name, object name equal to new class name. Okay, so here you see we have to access this method. Okay, so you want to access this method. Okay, so you have to create an object from this particular classes. By using that object you have to access the particular method. Okay, so here you see by you create an object, by using the object we access the particular method. Okay, so let's execute this program and check it whether the what is the output we are getting. Here you see it is printing the registration number and name. Okay, so let's see the execution flow of this program. Okay, okay, here you see the execution is going to start from this main method. Okay, so in this main method we create an object which is name it as a basics. The basic object is get created. Okay, so object is just a copy of classes, right. Okay, so here we are having the variable name which is called register number name. Okay, so here you see it is just going to hold a copy of it, register number and name. Okay, so right. Okay, so we created two variables. Okay, so here you see this object is just going to hold the copy of this particular classes, variables and methods. Okay, so here you see we are having the variables is registration number name. Okay, so this object is going to hold the copy of it. Okay, so now you see we are going to call, it is going to call the constructor. Here you see new. Okay, so it is going to find out is that any constructor is present on the particular classes. Okay, so it is going to find out the matching one. Okay, so here you see class name is matching and there is no argument is present, so that it is going to be find that it is a relevant one. Okay, so it is going to call this this constructor and it is going to assign the values to it. Okay, so what is the statement we written inside this constructor? It is registration number equal to 666, right. Okay, so that it is going to assign 666 to this particular variable. Okay, so then after it will be going to, what is the next statement? We assign name equal to Vinod Kumar Silverson. Okay, so we are going to assign these values to this variable Vinod Kumar Silverson. Okay, right. Okay, so after finishing the statement, the control will be back to it. Okay, so then what is the next statement? We are going to call basics.printData method. Basics is the object. Okay, so if we want to access the method, we have to use the object of the particular classes. So that we are using basic.printData. This statement is going to get called. What the statement we written inside the system.out.println? It is used to print the register number. Register number is, okay, so this is given on the double quote, so that it will be going to print as it is. Okay, then that should be followed by the register number. Okay, so this variable. Okay, so it will be going to find out what the register number is going to be held by the particular object. Okay, so the object is basic. The basic object holding the register number value is 666, right. Okay, so it is, so that it will be going to be print register number is 666. Okay, so then after what is the second statement? Name is, okay, so that is given on the double quote, so that it will be going to be print as it is. Okay, then it will be going to be check the values which is present on the variable name. Okay, the call is initiated from the basic.printData, so that it will be going to find out the what is the name which is present under the basic object. Okay, so here you see the values present under the basic object for the name variable is Vinod Kumar Silverson. So that it is going to be print Vinod Kumar Silverson. This is a basic constructor. Okay, so that is a default constructor. Okay, so here you see, in case we are not assigning any values to this constructor. Okay, so we are not created any constructor. Okay, the compiler will be going to check when it is going to execute this program. At the time, if it is no constructor is present in the program. Okay, so it is going to be print the default value. Let's check it. That is default value for the registration number, it is integer, right. Okay, so that it will be going to store 0. So default values for the name, it is going to be null. Okay, so let's check the values for both the variables. Here you see we created a constructor in previous program, but we removed it. Okay, so the compiler will be checking whether any constructor is present or not. If it is not, means it will be going to be, compiler will be going to allocate the default constructor, and it is going to assign the null values or default values for the variables. Okay, so let's check it. Here you see we got it, right. Okay, so default values for the integer is 0 and default value for the name is null. So we are going to get this two statement. Okay, so hope you understand. Okay, so what is a basic constructor and default constructor? Now we are going to write a program that is constructor with argument. Okay, so let's write simple little changes on this program. Okay, so I am going to create one simple program that is constructor with argument. Constructor with arg. Okay. Okay, so here you say I am going to create an constructor with argument, that is we want to pass input to the constructor through the argument. Okay, so I am going to create two variables, one is register number, another one is same as string. Okay, so and I am going to create one more default constructor. Okay, so then I am going to assign values to this particular two variables, one is registration number, another one is name. Okay, so I am going to give the register number values 666 and name equal to Ashok Kumar Silverson. Okay, right. Okay, so now you see we are going to create a constructor with argument, right. Okay, so here you see this is a constructor with argument, means you have to pass some values to the method through the argument. Okay, so here you see I am declaring two variables, one is int r, another one is going to be string n. Okay, so now I am going to assign values to the variable. Okay, so here you see this is a variable, right. Okay, so previously we assigned the values to the variable directly, but we are going to assign the values through argument. Okay, so that is register number r equal to r. Okay, then name equal to n. Okay, so here you see we are going to pass the values to the constructor through this argument. Okay, so this argument is holding the values. Okay, that value we are going to assign to this particular variable. This is a local variable and this one is a global variable. Okay, so here you see we are going to print the values of both the one. Okay, so print data. Okay, so I am going to just print the statement. Okay, so register number is. Okay, so plus the variable name which we are having is register number. Okay, so then we are going to sys out. Okay, and then name is plus name. Okay, got it. Okay, so we created one method. Okay, so which is going to be print the registration number as well as the name. Okay, now we are going to create a main method. In this main method we are going to create an object for this classes and we are going to access the constructor based on the without argument and with argument. Okay, so let's first create an object. Okay, so through the object during the object creation only the constructor is going to be get called, right. Okay, so I am going to create co. Okay, cons. Okay, and new constructor with argument. Okay, and I am going to print the values. Okay, so cons dot. Okay, so by object name only we can able to access the method, right. Okay, so that I am using cons dot print data. Okay, so and I am going to create one more object. Okay, so to call the constructor with argument. Okay, so let's check it. Okay, so how to call the constructor with argument. Okay, so class name. Okay, so that should be followed by object name. Object name should be different. Okay, so previously we created cons. Okay, so now we are going to create cons1. Okay, so new. Okay, so constructor with argument. Here you see we have to pass two values. Okay, one is R for registration number, N for name, right. Okay, so I am going to pass the values. Okay, so 667. Okay, and the name which I am going to pass it as Vinod Kumar Silverson. Okay, and I am going to call the particular method cons dot print data. Okay, so cons dot print data. Okay, so let's see the execution of this program. Let's check the execution of this program. Okay, so here you see first one is going to be print the first constructor. Okay, so that is constructor with argument. Second one is going to be called this constructor. Okay, so let's check the execution of this program. Okay, so first we are going to remove this. Okay, the execution is going to start from the main method. Okay, so here you see in this main method we are going to create an object cons. Okay, so that the object cons is going to be get created. Okay, so this object is going to hold the copy of whatever the class is holding, right. Okay, so the class is holding the two variables, one is registration number, another one is going to be a name. Okay, so here you see it is going to be created register number and next one is name, right. Okay, so these are the two variables which the class is holding, the object is just going to hold the copy of it. Okay, so next here you see it is going to be new. Okay, it will be going to be find any constructor like this, it will be present, that is constructor without argument. Okay, so we are not passing any argument in this parenthesis, so that it will be called as a constructor without argument. Okay, so it will be going to find out is that any constructor present without argument. Yes, we are having the same structure like this, right. Okay, so here you see this both are like a same structure, that is without argument, so that it is going to be find out the matching constructor. Okay, and the call is going to be get initiated to this particular constructor. Here you see what the statement we written inside, we create a variable. Okay, so that is registration number, and this for the variable we initialize the value as 666. Okay, so that is call is from cons, so that it will be going to assign the values registration number equal to 666, and then value which we are assigning is Ashok Kumar Silverson. Okay, so we are going to pass Ashok Kumar Silverson. Okay. Okay, right. Okay, so after that, okay, so after finding the closing bracket, the control will be back to here. Okay, so then we have here you see we are calling cons dot print data. Okay, so the call is initiate from which object? Cons. Okay, so it is going to be called the print data. In the system dot out dot println we are given some statement on the double quote, so it will be going to be print as it is. Okay, so then that should be followed by it will be going to print the variables values which is present on the registration number. Okay, so it is going to be print as it is registration number like this. Okay, so then it will be going to find out the values which is present on the register number. Okay, so what is the register number value which is call is initiated from the cons variable? It is 666, right. Okay, so that it will be going to be print this one. Okay, so then it will be going to be called the name statement. Okay, so name, this statement is present on the print data. Okay, so the print data call is initiated from the cons object. Okay, so cons object name variable which is holding is Ashok Kumar Silverson. Okay, so cons dot print data it will be printed the first registration number, then cons dot print data it will be going to be print the values which is present on the double quote as it is, that is name is. Okay, so then it will be going to find out the values which is present on the name variable. Okay, so what is the values which is present on the name variable? It is Ashok Kumar Silverson, right. Okay, so that it will be going to be print the values. Okay, right. Okay, after printing this statement it is finding the closing bracket, so that control will be back to here. Okay, so then again it will be going to create one more object, that is cons1. Okay, so it will be a cons1. Okay, cons1, right. Okay, so this object is hold the copy of the classes, right. Okay, so the class is holding register number and name. Okay, so it will be going to hold the register number and name. Okay, so register number and name. Okay, so it is just going to hold a copy of it. Okay, so and will be going to call the constructor. Okay, so which is going to be a matching two argument, and that two argument is first one is going to be integer, second one is going to be a string. Okay, so here you see we are having two constructor. Okay, one is constructor without argument, one is constructor with argument. Okay, so it will be going to find out this one. Okay, so it is matching one, first one is a integer, second one is a string. Okay, so that it will be finding the matching one. So that 6667 is going to be allocated to R, then R is going to allocated to this register number. Okay. So then Vinod Kumar Selvarsan is going to allocate it to the name, and the name is going to be N is going to be allocated to the name variable. Okay. So that the registration number R is going to be holding the value 667. Okay. Name is going to be held by the so Vinod Kumar Selvarsan is going to hold by this variable name. Okay. So here you see we are just going to assign the values to R2 registration number, right. Okay. So then N2 name. Okay. So N2 name. Okay. So here you see the calling is going to be assigned to the R, then R is going to be assigned to this variable. Vinod Kumar Selvarsan is going to assign to the N, and then N is going to be assigned to the name. Okay. So that the cons is going to hold the values of R and N. Okay. So now you see we are going to print the values cons 1 dot print data. It will be going to call this particular method. Okay. So it is just going to print the values which is present in the double quotes as it is, that is register number is. Okay. Then that should be followed by, it will be going to print the values which is present on the registration number variable. Okay. So what is the values which is present on the registration number variable under the cons1 object? It is 661, right. Okay. So that it will be going to be print 661. Okay. So then what is the next statement? Name is. Okay. So it is going to print the name as it is, name variable, name text as it is, and will be going to find out the values which is present on the name variable. Okay. So values what is present on the name variable, it is just going to hold Vinod Kumar Selvarsan. Okay. So that it will be printing this variable name Vinod Kumar dot Selvarsan. Okay. So this is what it is called constructor with argument. Okay. Okay. So fine. Okay. So next one we are going to see the copy constructor. Okay. The copy constructor. Okay. So how we are going to copy what is the copy constructor? Okay. The copy constructor is nothing but one constructor, one object is holding the values, right, another object holding different values. Okay. You want to transfer the values which is held by this register number name variable to the same to the another object. Okay. So you want to print the both the variables, you want to just copy this variables values which is present on the register number to this object register number, and you want to copy the values which is present on the name variable to the name variable which is present on cons1 object, that is copy constructor. Okay. So copying the value from one constructor to the another constructor. Let us see how to implement this one. Okay. New copy constructor. Okay. Just we close this both. Okay. So here you see, so you can find all this coding on the description link. Okay. So I am going to give all the codings on the GitHub link. Okay. So I just give the link on this below description link. You can find this coding on that. Okay. So now you see I am going to print the register number. I am just going to declare the register number and string variable. Okay. So name. Okay. So then I am going to create one constructor. Okay. So which is going to be a default constructor. Okay. So and its register number equal to 666 and name equal to Roshan. Okay. Roshan Vinod Kumar. Okay, right. Okay. So now you see I am going to create one more constructor, that is constructor with argument. Okay. So here you see I am going to create one more constructor with argument, that is int r comma string n. Okay. So I am going to assign the values from global variable to the local variable. Okay. So sorry, local variable to the global variable. Okay. So then I am going to assign this value to this variable. Okay. Now you see we are going to just print the void print void print data. Okay. I am going to print sys.out.println. I am just going to print the register number is. Okay. So plus register. Okay. And I am going to print sysout name is plus name. Okay. right. Okay, so now you see we are going to create the main method. Inside this main method, as well as we are going to call this values, constructor values cv, sorry, cons equal to new constructor values semicolon cons dot print data. Then we are going to create one more object, okay, that is we are going to call constructor with argument. Just I am going to pass the values, okay, 667 667 Niranjan Vinod Kumar. Okay, right. Okay, so now you see it is going to be print the values, okay, so based on it, okay. So you want to copy any one of these values to another constructor, means how to do it, okay. So just copy this value, okay. So now you are going to pass the type as this constructor cv, okay, that is cv dot register, okay, then cv dot name, okay. So here you see I am going to explain this flow, okay, so please wait, okay, so don't confuse yourself, okay. So I am going to explain it clearly, okay. So I am just going to pass the values of any one constructor. We are having two constructor, right, okay. So one is cons, another one is cons1, okay. So then we are going to pass any one of this to this constructor, okay. So I am going to pass this one, okay. So then I am going to print this value, okay, cons2 dot print data, okay. So let's check the execution flow. It is going to be print Niranjan Vinod Kumar 2 times and Roshan Vinod Kumar 1 times. Check it. Okay, so here you see it is going to be print, okay. So Roshan default value, and then okay, so we are passing the same method, right, okay. So we are passing the same object, okay. So here you see Niranjan Vinod Kumar is printing 2 times and Roshan Vinod Kumar is going to be print 1 times, okay. So now we are going to check it, constructor copy constructor value cons equal to new copy constructor value. It is going to be find out the matching constructor, that is empty constructor, okay. So it will be going to be find out the empty constructor and it is going to assign the values, okay. Let's check the execution flow of this program. Okay, so here you see execution is going to start from here, okay. So it is going to be call the it is going to be create the cons constructor, okay. So cons constructor is going to be get created, okay. So then here you see it is going to be hold the copy of what this class is holding. It is having the register and name, okay. So register and name, okay. So it is a two variables which is present under the one object, okay. So then it is going to be find out the matching constructor, that is constructor without argument, okay. So we are having the constructor without argument is this one, okay. So this is the one, that is constructor without argument, okay. So here you see what we written code inside this constructor. We are just going to initialize the values for the register number is going to 666 and name is going to be Roshan or Vinod Kumar, okay. So values which we assign is 666, the value which we assign is Roshan Vinod Kumar for the name variables, okay, right, okay. So then after here you see after finding the closing bracket, the control will be back to here where the call is get initiated, the call is initiated on here, right, okay. So control will be back to here, then it is going to be called cons dot print data. It will be going to be called print data, this method, okay. So it will be going to be print the register number, okay. So this one, okay, register number is, okay. So it is going to be print the text as it is and will be going to find out the values which is present on the register number, okay. So it is going to be print the values which is present, it is print the text as it is and will be going to be find out the values which is present on the register number from the object cons1, okay. So what is the value which is present on the cons1 object register number variable? It is 666, right, okay. So it will be printing the 666, okay. So then after it will be going to be print the name, okay. So it will be going to be print the name the text which is given on the double quotes, it will be going to be print as it is. Okay, so like this. Okay, and it will be going to be find out the values which is present on the name variable on the cons object. Okay, so the variable for the name under the cons object is Roshan Vinod Kumar. Okay, so here you see we are printing the Roshan Vinod Kumar. Okay, so after printing the statement, okay, so then we are having copy constructor cons 1 equal to new copy constructor 6667 Niranjan Vinod Kumar. Okay, so it will be going to be find out. Okay, so which constructor having, okay, two argument, one is a integer, another one is string. Okay, so here you see we find you are having the three constructor, one is constructor without argument, so that just we are eliminating it. Okay, so then check the two one. Okay, so here you see we are having one is integer, another one is string, so that matching constructor is fine, so that this value will be assigned to this R. Okay, and then this value will be assigned to the n. Okay, so R is assigned to the register and n is going to be assigned to the name. Okay, so likewise we are going to R is going to be hold. Okay, so what is the object name which we created is cons 1. Okay, so the cons 1 is just going to hold the copy of the particular class, that is register number, register and name, right. Okay, so these are the two variables which the class is holding, right. Okay, so now you see we are going to pass these two values to the matching constructor. Here you see we are having the matching constructor over there. Okay, so then it will be the 667 is going to be allocated to R, right. Okay, so R is going to be 667. Okay, so that is 6667. Okay, and then n is going to be Niranjan Vinod Kumar, Niranjan Vinod Kumar. Okay, it will be going to be allocated, right. Okay, so now you see what is the statement we return, the R value is going to be allocated to register. Okay, R value will be going to allocated to register, n value will be going to allocated to name. Okay, so after that it will be going to be find out the closing bracket, so that the control will be back to the call on initiator on here. Then we are going to call cons1.print data. It will be going to call the print data method, and you will be going to call system.out.println the text which is given on the double quotes. Okay, so it is going to be print as it is. Okay, so then it will be going to be find out the variable. Okay, so it is going to be find out the variable which is present on the cons 1. Okay, so the values which is present on the register for cons 1 object is R. What is R value? 666, right. Okay, so that it is going to be print the 666. Okay, so then after it will be going to be called the name this statement, the values given the double quotes, that is going to be print as it is. Okay, so then it is going to be find out the values which is present on the name variable. Here you see the call is initiated on cons 1, cons1 dot print data. Okay, so from the cons 1 object we are going to call this statement name, and it is going to be print as it is, and we will be going to find out the values which is present on the name variable. Okay, so what is the values which is present on the name variable under the cons object? It is n. What is the values which is present on the n? It is Niranjan Vinod Kumar. Okay, so that it is going to be print the Niranjan Vinod Kumar here. Okay, so now here you see we are creating one more object cons 2. Okay, so we are going to create one more object, that is cons 2. Okay, so now you see we are passing the argument. Okay, so here is a cons 2 object is created, it is just going to hold the copy of the classes, right. Okay, so that is the class is holding register and name. Okay, right, register and name. Okay, so now you see it will be going to find out the constructor. Okay, so which is going to be the type of cons 1. Cons 1 is the object of constructor, which is going to be a type of copy constructor class, copy constructor value class. Here you see we are having the copy constructor value classes over here. Okay, so here you see this one values, that is cons 1, that is going to be given completely as argument to this constructor, and it will be going to be find out the constructor which is going to be accept the object as the argument. Okay, so here you see we are having the three constructor over there. Okay, the first constructor is an empty constructor, so that it get eliminated. Okay, second constructor is the constructor with the two argument R and n, so that this two is also get eliminated. Okay, so here you see the third one is going to be a copy constructor values, that is a constructor object type. Okay, it is going to be find out the matching one. The cons 1 is going to be type of constructor 1 constructor value. Okay, so here you see the matching values is present on here. Okay, so it is going to be find out the matching values, so that the cons 1 is going to be allocated to CV. Okay, now the CV is going to hold the copy reference of what is the cons 1 is holding. Okay, so here you see CV dot, so CV dot register is going to be cons 1 dot register. cons1 dot register. Okay, likewise cv dot name equal to cons1 dot name. Okay, so here you see that is the way we are passing. Okay, cons values we are going to pass completely as argument to this one. Okay, now the cons1 is going to be a cv, then cv values is going to be cv dot register number, it will indirectly proportional to cons1, right. Okay, so cv value is indirectly proportional to cons1. What is the cons1 of the name is going to be n. What is the n? It is Niranjan. Cons1 of the register is r. Okay, so here you see cv dot register equal to cons1 dot register. Okay, so cons1 dot register is going to be r. What is the values which is present on r? It is 666. Okay, so it is going to be called the matching one, and it is going to be pass the values which is present on the cons1 completely to the cv. Now cv dot register, it is indirectly proportional to cons1 dot register. Okay, so this values. Okay, so that value is assigned to the register, and then cv dot name is indirectly proportional to cons1 dot name. Okay, so that value we are going to assign to this values. Okay, so that, okay, so now we are going to hold cons1 dot indirectly proportional to cons1 dot register, sorry, cons1 dot register value. Okay, so then cons1 dot name. Okay, so that only we are after assigning this value. Okay, so then we are going to print cons2 dot print data. Okay, so it will be going to call the print data method. In this print data method, the values given on the double quotes, it will be going to print as it is. Okay, it will be going to be find the values which is present on the register. The call is from cons2 object. Okay, so cons2 dot register is cons2 dot register is the cons1 dot register, that is values is 667, right. Okay, that is going to be printed over here. Here you see 6667, that value we are going to pass it over here, and that value we have printed. Okay, then we are going to call double quotes this statement, double quotes name is. Okay, so it will be going to be print as it is name is. Okay, so then it will be going to be find out the values which is present on the name. Okay, so it will be going to be check the values which is present on the name. Okay, so the call is from cons1, right. Okay, cons2. Okay, so cons2 dot name is cons2 dot name is cons1 dot name. What is the cons1 dot name? Okay, so it is n, that is Niranjan Vinod Kumar. Okay, so that it will be going to be print like this, Niranjan Vinod Kumar. Okay, so here you see Niranjan Vinod Kumar, we are printing this statement. Okay, so now as of now we saw default constructor, constructor with argument, and copy constructor. Okay, so these are the, then we are having the constructor overloading. The next statement we are going to see is constructor overloading. Okay, okay, so I am going to declare variable int register number and then string name. Okay, so I am going to create one constructor, that is default constructor, and I am going to assign the values for this both variable, register number equal to semicolon and name equal to semicolon. Okay, right. Okay, and then I am going to pass some default value 6, name is, I am going to give it on the double quotes because it is a string. Okay, so Vinod Kumar Selvarasan. Okay, so now I am going to create the another constructor, that is constructor with argument. Okay, so here I say I am going to pass only one argument, int r. Okay, so now I am going to pass the values, register number equal to r. Okay, so now you see I am going to create one more constructor, that is string n. Okay, name equal to n. Okay, so now you see I am going to use the print method to print all the information, print data sys out. Okay, so register register number. Okay, so then sys out name is plus n. Okay, so I am going to call the main method. Okay, so in this main method, okay, I am going to create an object of this particular classes. Semicolon co dot print data. Okay, right. Okay, so here you see we created three constructor. Okay, so this is a constructor without argument. Here you see we are having two constructor with say three constructor with same name. One is constructor without argument, constructor with one argument, constructor with two argument. Okay, here you see this is what it is called constructor overloading. Okay, so the constructor name is same. Okay, so the number of argument and type of argument is different. Okay, so that is the same thing. Okay, so same person, if you are going to assign more work means then he will be telling that I am overloaded, right? Okay, the same thing. Okay, so the same constructor name. Okay, so but the number of argument and type of argument is different. Okay, so same name. Okay, so number of argument, type of argument is different. Okay, so based on this argument it will be going to be called the particular constructor. Okay, so here you see. Okay, so we are going to call this constructor. To call this constructor we have to pass only one argument. Okay, so I am going to pass 6 7, sorry, I have to pass inside this argument 6 6. Okay, so and I am going to call create this object as CO1. Okay, so each object name should be different, right? Okay, so and this one is CO2. Okay, so I want to call this constructor. To call this constructor we have to pass two argument. Okay, so one is going to be integer, another one is going to be string, and that should be on the same order. Okay, so here you see 666 comma name is going to be Vinod Kumar. Okay, so now it is CO2, right? Okay, CO2 dot print data. Okay, so let's check the execution flow. Then after we are going to see the explanation flow of this particular program. Okay, so it is throwing the error. Okay, so let's check it where we are having the error here. Okay, so it is a name variable, right? Okay, so we are using name. Okay, let's run this program and check it. Here you see first value, it is going to be called the default constructor. The values for the default constructor is 6 and Vinod Kumar Silverson. It is going to be print as it is. Okay, second argument it is going to be or this constructor is get matched, so that the R is going to be allocated to the register number. It is going to be a the 66 is going to allocate to the R is going to be allocated to the register number. Okay, so right. Okay, so then here you see this class is having the one more variable name. Okay, so but we are not passing the values for the name, so that it is going to be allocated as a null. Okay, so second one it is going to be called this constructor which is having two arguments, one is going to be integer, another one is going to be string. The matching constructor is finding on here, so that it will be going to be allocated this R, that is 666 to the R register number, and then Vinod is assigned to the n. Okay, so n is going to be assigned to the n name and R is going to be assigned to the register number. Okay, so here you see I am going to execute this so I am going to explain this program in clear manner. Okay, so let's see this execution flow of this program. Okay, so here you see we are going to create an object CO. Okay, so CO object is going to be get created. Okay, but okay, so this CO object is a copy of this particular classes, right? Okay, this class is holding two variables. Okay, so one is going to be register number, another is going to be a name. Okay, so one is going to be register number, another one is going to be a name. Okay, so name. Okay, so here you see it is going to be called the default constructor, this one. Okay, so it will be going to be find out the constructor without argument. Here you see we are having three argument. Okay, the first two constructor you will be find the matching one. Here you see it is don't have any argument. Okay, the value which we assign for the register number is 6 and name is going to be Vinod Kumar. Okay, so Selvarsan, Vinod Kumar Selvarsan. Okay, right. Okay, so after that, okay, so we are going to call the co dot print data. It will be going to be the call is initiated from the co object, this object. from this object we are going to call the print data. Okay, so we are going to give in the double quotes register number is. Okay, so it is going to be print as it is register number is. Okay, then that should be followed by the register number variable. Okay, so it will be going to find out the what the values which the register number is holding. It is a 6, right? Okay, so that will be going to call this one. Okay, so then after it will be going to be called name is. Okay, so it will be going to be find out the it is going to be print the name as it is, and it will be going to be find out the values which is present on the name. Okay, now the call is initiated from CO object. Okay, CO dot name is going to be Vinod Kumar Selvarsan. Okay, right. Okay, so then we are having constructor overloading, another object is get created. Okay, so that CO1 is going to be created. Okay, CO1 is going to be created. It is just going to hold the copy of this two variables. One is register number, another one is going to be a name. Okay, so here you see register number and name. Okay, so the constructor overloading 66. Okay, so it will be going to be only one argument, that too is integer. It is going to be find out the whose constructor having single argument and that too is integer. Okay, so single argument constructor. Okay, so here you see we are having 3 argument. First one is get eliminated because it is doesn't have any argument. Second one is having the one argument, so that it will be going to be finding the matching one. Okay, so on this R. Okay, so that is 666. 666 is going to assign to R. That R value going to assign to this register number. Okay, so the R is going to be what the value 66, right? Okay, so 66. Okay, so it is going to be assigned to register number which is indirectly proportional to 66, right? After that it is doesn't find any statement, so that it will be back to where it's get called. Okay, so then we are going to call con dot print data. Okay, so the call is going to be initiated to the print data method. Okay, so whatever the text which is given on the double quote, it is going to be print as it is. Okay, so then it will be going to check the values which is present on the register number. Okay, so what is the values which is present on the register number? It is 666, right? Okay, so that the values given on the double quotes, it is going to be print as it is like this. Okay, so then the values which is present on the register number is 66, it is going to be print as it is. Okay, then it will be going to be print the name double text as it is, and it is going to be find out the values which is present on the name. Okay, so name we are not assign the values, so that it will be automatically assign the null values. If you are not assign any values to the variable, it takes the null values. Okay, so if it is a global variable, class variable. Okay, so here you see it is a class variable, so that it is going to allocate the null values for this particular variable. Okay, so now you are going to print the values of name. Okay, so null values get printed. Okay, so then here you see we are going to create one more object CO2. Okay, so CO2 object is going to be get created. Okay, okay, so then we are having CO2 object is going to hold having the object CO2 object is having the constructor with 2 arguments. Okay, so it is going to be find out the who is having the constructor with 2 arguments. Okay, so this is the constructor without argument. Okay, so it is a constructor with 1 argument. Here it is a constructor with 2 argument. Okay, so it is going to be find out this 2 matching one. Okay, first one is integer, second one is string. Okay, so that it will be finding the matching one on here. Okay, so first one is a string, second one is going to be a first one is going to be int, and second one is going to be a string. Okay, so it is finding the matching one, so that R 66 is going to be assigned to the R. Okay, so R is going to be now it is 667. Okay, so now 66. Okay, so then Vinod Kumar is going to be assigned to N. Okay, so N is going to be assigned to Vinod Kumar. Okay, so right. Okay, so then after we are going to call CO2 dot print data. Okay, so we are going to call the print data method which is present on here. Okay, so whatever the values which is given on the double quote, it is going to be print as it, so that it will be printing the register number as it is. Okay, so then it is going to be find out the register number variable values which is present on object CO2. Okay, so CO2 dot register number values we are assigning is R, right? Okay, and then name is going to be N. Okay, so here you see this value we assign like this, right? Okay, so this 66 is going to assign to R, and Vinod Kumar is going to assign to N. That R is going to be assigned to register number, N is going to be assigned to N name. Okay, so I am going to assign this value, register number is 666. Okay, so 666, and name is going to be Vinod Kumar. Okay, right. Okay, so now co2.print data. Okay, co2.print data, it is going to be print the statement system.out.println. Inside this we are given the register number in the double quote, so that it will be going to be print as it is. Okay, and then it will be going to be find out the values which is present on the register number. The call is initiated from co2. Okay, so co2.register number is 666. Okay, so now you see it is going to be print as it is. Okay, then it is going to be called the name statement, name which is given on the double quote, it is going to be print as it is. Okay, so then it will be going to be print as it is, and will be going to find out the values which is present on the name. Okay, so the values which is present on the name is Vinod Kumar, so that it is going to be print the Vinod Kumar. Okay, students, hope you understand what is constructor. Okay, so if you having any doubt, okay, so please send me a mail. Okay, so I give the mail ID in the description link. Okay, so if you like this video, share this video with your friends. Okay, don't forget to click the subscribe button and bell button to get the update from the IISN YouTube channel. Okay, thank you.